Back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Greenleaf. It's a new mini-series that will be coming on at 8 o'clock Central Time, Wednesdays on the OWN network. This is a show pretty much about this family named Greenleaf that has a mega church in Tennessee. It depicts some of the BS that occurs in the black church and within this powerful family that heads the church. Scandal, a lot of mayhem is what I'm getting, and it seems as if it's been going on for quite some time. Many of you have asked me to do this review for this show, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I was scared to deal with this because sometimes when you deal with religious issues, especially within the black community, you have a lot of people that don't like to necessarily hear the truth. Well, I prayed about it. I decided to go ahead and give it a chance, but understand this and this one thing. Don't expect this to be any different from any other review that I do. I'm going to call it like I see it, even if it happens to step on some people's toes, and I'm sure that it probably is because it's really hitting on the first 3 episodes I've seen is hitting on some subjects that I know that we as, people of color oftentimes like to hide and not discuss it, okay? Now, this episode here started off with Grace Greenleaf. She is known also as Gigi. She is the daughter of the bishop of the Calvary Baptist Church, I forgot his name, child, but anyway, she's returning back home, and in this episode, we see her riding along in this nice little Uber, and the driver is in awe of her. Apparently, Miss Gigi is a well-known, famous preacher, and he is one of her former parishioners as well as his deceased mother. And child, he just excited as I almost said something. Okay, he just excited as he can possibly be that she's back in the area, and he wants to know if she gonna start preaching again and all of that. And he's telling her how much his mama loved her preaching, and how many times his mother made him come down to the church and spend countless times listening to this lady preach, and telling him, on the sidelines at home, why you can't find you a nice, wholesome girl like this instead of the hoes that you tend to want to deal with. Now, keep in mind, Grace, also known as Gigi, has a daughter, and her daughter's name is Sophia. Sophia is sitting in the car with him too when he happens to say what his mama say, but of course he apologizes, and she like, she okay, she done heard, pretty much a lot of the stuff that go on. Like I said, he wants to know if she returning to the ministry, and she says no. Her daughter pops off and says, we've been living in Arizona and we possibly headed to New York because my mom may be getting this job at 2020. She said that's not a written in stone situation. I've only interviewed twice and they have not made me the job offer. Well, he want her to come back. You can tell by the way he talking. Well, she decides that she wants to, because she's looking at the scenery, and I'm sure she's starting to reflect on some of the things that, her growing up or whatnot. And she wants to walk. So she tells the Uber driver to pull over. She'll walk the rest of the way to the big house, child. Well, he pulled over, he let her out, and she offers to give him a tip. He said, oh, no, that's included in the price. She said, didn't you say your mama often attended Calvary? He said, yes, ma'am, she did. He said she paid tithes, didn't he? He said, yeah. She said, well, you go ahead on and take this. Just consider it a refund. It ain't nowhere near enough, but you take that. And he accepts it and he leaves. And she walks over towards the lake area, and she just looking, and her daughter comes up and asks her mama, is this where Faith died? And she said yes. That's when we learned that she's back in town because her sister Faith has committed suicide. Now, the family is saying it's a part of God's great plan for her life, for her to be called home so early, but something don't seem right. And this was I chuckled at this because oftentimes a major tragedy happens. Christians quick to insert that God had something to do with it. God is a God of order. He's a God of peace. When tragedies happen, it ain't got nothing to do with the Lord sitting there making it happen. That got something to do with what's going on. See, people don't understand that God don't stop bad things from happening. Everything that go on got a reason and a season for why it go on. Sometimes there's so much mayhem and discord and sinning going on somewhere that God decides that he's going to remove his shadow of protection, and the devil that lives within some of us go in and do ungodly things, okay? So that's most of the time. Now, when it's natural disaster, he didn't protect you because, it's all a part of the design to have you. God only wants to help you. He wants to love you. He wants to take care of you. And he'll give you a peace that passes understanding in your trials and your tribulations. But you got to believe in him. You got to love him. And you got to be able to give him that faith. And he don't ask for a lot of faith like we as humans do. He say, if you just give me the faith the size of a mustard seed, I'll move mountains for you. So people need to stop using God when tragedy occurs. God did it, or he allowed it to happen. Yeah, he allowed us to do. Okay, when you sucking dick before you go to church on Sunday morning and praise his name, he allowed you to suck that dick. He ain't kill you. So stop equating tragedy with God, because God is a God of order and a God of peace. Certain things happen in life because we as people fail to do the very thing he asked us to do. He know we gonna sin. He allowed his son to die on Calvary for our sins. So it's not about you can't be forgiven, because you already was born into a world of sin and you've been given that second chance through Jesus Christ. So stop blaming God when things happen. We have power of choice. And a lot of times we as humans do a lot of messed up things. And then when it's cause and effect. Cause this happened, the effect was this. Stop blaming God for when things go wrong, and start looking at yourself and start looking at us as a people and what we can do better. And if you want that peace that passes all understanding, then maybe you should invest in giving him what he asks you for, because he don't ask you for a lot, but he'll give you everything if you just give him that little bit of faith. I think I just went into a okay, let me leave that alone, because I ain't mean to go that far with it. I'm sorry. Okay, let me see where I was. I done went all the way off. Lord Jesus. Whew, y'all gonna have to tell me if y'all want me to continue to do this here. Okay. Anyway. Faith in her, not Faith, Gigi and her daughter is walking up to the house, okay? They get to the front gate of this estate, and the guard is looking at her like, can I help you? And she introduces herself as Grace Greenleaf. He knew who she was. He just thought she was coming in a vehicle, and she said she was, but it was a nice day. This her family establishment. She wanted to just take a walk. That's when we meet Mr. Noah. Noah is head of security, and he escorts them up to the big house, and clearly we can tell by the way they looking at each other there's some type of history between Noah and Gigi. Now they get to the house. It's this huge beautiful mansion, gave me underground tease, chap. And out comes Bishop Daddy, and he elated, hollering about the prodigal daughter returns. Okay, you got Uncle Matt, he out there, and the mom is coming too. The mom has the nerve to ask her, you ain't spoke to your Uncle Mac yet? She looked at him, and I can tell right there that something was going on. Something ain't right with Uncle Matt, honey. Something ain't right with Uncle Matt. He giving me creepy pedophile tease, honey. Well, she speaks to him, and then she speaks to her mama, and her mama had the nerve to tell her, I hope you not finna come here and cause some discord in my pleasant pastures. And I'm thinking to myself, why would that be the first thing that you say to your daughter? The girl said, Mom, I'm only here to funeralize Faith. I'm only here for a couple of days. I didn't come to cause you no problem. She told me I was good because I couldn't take that. Girl, I see you. I see you, First Lady. I see you. I'm going to call you out sooner or later, girl. I'm going to call you out. Okay. Then Mama decides to turn her attention to the grandchild, and she started asking about how their flight was as they going inside. So we already got some issues going on. We got mega church. We got powerful family running it. We got daughter who left the ministry and the family and that has been estranged for quite some time. We got a mama that looks like she knows much but keeps it all inside. She don't tell no secrets of the family, okay? And we got Bishop Daddy. I ain't quite figured him out yet. And we got Creepy Uncle. So I see some problems already in the beginning of this thing, okay? Child. And then we got parents ain't never seen the grandkid, and this girl look like she's late middle school, possibly early freshman in high school. We got some situations and consequences and stuff going on right here. This gonna be really entertaining to see how this plays out. Now I think next was the memorial service scene where the family is all gathered around the gravesite as Bishop Daddy saying his scripture and at the gravesite. And you got, now I'm gonna call him Creepy Uncle, looking at Gigi with this look like, what you back here for? I know you back here to start some shit, but if you start some, don't start none, won't be none. He got that creepy look. Something ain't right with Creepy Uncle. That's his name right now, Creepy Uncle, okay? Afterwards, they all sit down to dinner, and you got Jacob. Jacob is Gigi's brother, who coincidentally happens to be a pastor too. And he has this very opportunistic wife by the name of Clarissa. And they sit down at the dinner table, child, and you got the older daughter, you got another daughter, her name is Charity. Now as I sit around and I looked at this table, a couple of things, I seen some stuff that kind of got into my spirit, made me wonder what we got going on here. We got some other issues going on, because Charity, the younger sister, she not fair-skinned like old Gigi. She ain't got that bone-straight Brazilian silky like her sister. She kind of on the dark side. You can tell she used a pony. I see some problems right here, because at this dinner table, she basically asking her daddy, can she preach? And her daddy don't feel that she's ready to preach, and she feeling some kind of way because she said you let Jacob preach. He preached a whole series on some, and he ain't even good. Now you got Grace, I'm gonna call her Gigi. Gigi sitting at the table saying, Daddy, maybe you should give her an opportunity. But see, there's where this conflict come in, because your sister's sticking up for you, but Charity got a problem with it. She tell her, don't be on my team, I don't need you to talk for me. Well, Daddy ignored what she talking about, wanting to do her little series, and tells Grace, Gigi, it sure is good to have you home, baby. I sure wish I could get you to do a sermon, if nothing more, to the youngsters. So Daddy want Grace to preach. Apparently Grace used to be this very well-known and well-respected preacher. So she left the fold, okay? But Charity is still there, yet Charity is not given the opportunity the prodigal daughter was given. So there's going to be some conflict in there, and it's been some conflict through the years. We going to stay tuned. We going to find out about that. Also at this dinner table, let's go back to Jacob's wife, Clarissa. Miss Opportunity is knocking. He needs to answer the call. Okay, she's sitting at this table, and she basically coming for Gigi. She like, so do you believe in God? Are you a Christian, or are you one of those people that believe that's spiritually inclined and think that there are other paths to God? Do you even go to church? Gigi told her, I'm still a Christian. I do go to Fountain of Life on Christmas and Easter. And I do believe that there are other paths to get to the truth, which is the truth is Jesus Christ, our Lord. Okay? So I still believe as I used to believe. I just don't believe that I have to sit in a building every Sunday around a bunch of people to prove my love or my belief in God. Okay? So she shut her down with it right there. Okay? Now Charity back over there still begging for her opportunity to preach. She talking about she want to do a series on the 12 seasons of a Christian marriage. Daddy said, I ain't know it was no seasons to marriage. The uncle laughing. The mama says it's utter ridiculous because, girl, you done been married 3 years and you ain't even got no children. So what you know about the ups and downs of a marriage? They basically don't want to hear what she got to say. Uncle tell her sit her ass down. Gigi said don't talk to her like that. Mama said don't talk to him like that. Charity get upset. She runs off. Daddy Bishop say go after your wife, Kevin. Because Kevin is her wife, her husband. So he goes to take care of her. Dinner is over, honey. Old mama done said, you ain't going to come to my house and cause no problems. I done already lost one daughter. I don't intend to lose another. She said, you ain't never lose no daughter. You gave her away. Baby, it was some things going on. And then she say, and you got the nerve to have him sitting at your table. Mama shut her down. Dinner over. Things done got bad. Daddy done got mad. Daddy said you going to church, Gigi, in the morning. Mama leave. Everybody else leave the table. Now on their way up the stairwell, Clarissa is asked by Jacob, why is you coming for my sister so hard? Why you coming to her like that? She said, you better be glad I'm on your team because I'm the only one that is. Okay, I'm the only one that care about you around here. And by the way, could you tell your side pieces to stop texting you so late? It's disrespectful. So again, we got the black mega church, the black family that runs this church, a possible situation with an uncle, a mother who hides details and don't protect her children, a daughter who was once a part of the ministry who has now become estranged from her family. She's only back in town because of her sister's death. We got a suicide that might not be a suicide. We got discord in the family between the two sisters, or maybe that light skin versus dark skin type of thing. You got the son who don't give a damn about nothing, it seems like, other than getting to his side pieces, who his wife wants him to have such a position and be so powerful in the church. She threatened by the fact that old girl is back because it's gonna maybe overshadow her husband, thus not giving her the status in the church that she wants. So we got a conflict going on here. Then we got a husband who is a minister, but he got side pieces. Y'all asked me to review this, remember that. Here go another problem. We got little Sophia going off with the cousin, Jacob and Clarissa's daughter. They walking around the grounds of the Greenleaf plantation. And some may say, well, Nika, why you call it the plantation? If y'all look at this show, especially that dinner table scene, did y'all not see those Nicholas up against the wall standing up there like Massa had them on underground and they weren't saying nothing and didn't have no expression? Now, I don't know that he treated them like Massa did, but what I will say is this right here. Some in the buttermilk ain't clean, okay? Well, these girls is walking around the plantation and they come to this little spot, and the little dark-skinned daughter of Clarissa and Jacob pull out some pills, a rolled up dollar, and she commences to snorting her some pills because she done chopped this shit up. Sophia like, what are you taking? She said, oh girl, it's just Ritalin. She said, well, do you got ADD or ADHD? She said, no, but that's what I tell them to get it. All I got to do is just tell the psychiatrist why the child seeing a psychiatrist. Follow me if you will. The child done got a psychiatrist, and she done figured out if she tell this psychiatrist that she can't focus her friends, she overtalks her friends, and she's feeling somewhat, like hopeless, they give her Ritalin. And so she gets this medication and she snorts it. She say it's a lot of pressure on her down at the schoolhouse. She got to keep her grades just right. It can't be too low, can't be too high. She got to be right here so she can play her role with her psychiatrist so she get her drugs. And she also can't go down here because that ain't going to alert her mama that something wrong because her mama is the principal of the school. Child. She offers Sophia to take her a snort, and she does. Child, the minute that girl got happy, we all knew it, because she said, I love Jesus so much. When you high, you love everybody. You love your mama, your daddy, you love Jesus. Everything is real. Ain't nothing funny. Ain't nothing fake. It's all right here. Right here. So now, let's recap what we got here. We got the mega church, the black family, the powerful, influential black family. We got a daughter that's dead, allegedly by suicide. We got an uncle that's creepier than a mug. We don't know his story, but some ain't right by uncle or pastor. We got daughters with discord between each other, but possibly because one feels like the parents pay more attention to one opposed to the other. You know, the light skin versus the dark skin. You got a brother who don't want to be a part of none of it, but he being forced by a wife that wants a position and wants her husband to be possibly the next bishop, so she could be the first lady. She wants clout. You know, so she pushing her husband to do that. Meanwhile, she know a man cheating on her, but she all right with that as long as she keeps her status as Mrs. Greenleaf, okay? The pastor wife. You got your daughter, their daughter, crunching up, riddling, snorting it through a dollar bill like it's cocaine to get high so she can cope. Child. Next we get Noah. Remember, let's go back to Noah from the beginning of the episode that walked on up to the big house. Now, Noah is Mr. Head of Security, like I said, and he happens to live on the Greenleaf plantation. But he got this fiance named Isabella. Now, Isabella knows the history of Noah and Gigi. We don't yet. So, when he gets home, she's there, and she's asking questions like how she look. He says she looked the same, she just older. And, he had to add in there to calm her down because clearly we can see her insecurities. He said, but she ain't got nothing on you. Now, Isabella, I'm a dark-skinned woman too. So, girl, I don't know. I don't know about that, what he just told you. But anyway, she gets to coming on to him, trying to get him, you know, in the mood. Apparently, they have decided they're going to wait till they get married. So, they're refraining from having sex. But old girls say, we ain't got to have no sex, but there are other things that we can do, you know. There are other things we can do to please each other. And what man gonna turn it down? So he down with what she talking about, and she goes down literally. I'm gonna leave it right there. Now let's go over to Miss Old Place on Beale Street. Aunt Mavis, baby. Aunt Mavis, played by the one and only Miss Oprah Winfrey, honey. Oprah got her old shop over there got a bar over there on the Beale Street, and you can tell she that ain't everybody like to hang with. Kind of like probably myself, cause I always got my niece and nephews, and when they get into it with their parents, my brother and sister child, they quick to run about house, cause I'm known as the cool auntie. I'm the one that don't give them no problems, but I'm gonna give you what you need, not what you want. If you come talking to me about any situation, but I understand you young and you want to do certain things, so I don't ride your back like your mom and daddy do. I'm that auntie that Oprah is, and she told Gigi in a previous conversation, steal one of your daddy cars and come see me, and that's exactly what Gigi do. She goes to see old auntie, and soon as she get there, auntie tells her, you know your uncle still at it. She said, yeah, he still at it, child. It ain't never stopped. I mean, he was doing stuff to your sister Faith, which is probably what caused her to do what she did. But a couple months ago, a cop friend of mine slid through him and told me that there was a 15-year-old girl saying that he had messed with her on a church retreat. And next thing we know, a couple days later, that story gets recanted and it goes away. She said, Grace, you ran last time. It's your job to see this to the end this time. She said he has to be stopped. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he has to be stopped. And everybody know about it, but because he's a part of the influential Greenleaf family, ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. She told us, she said, I'm gonna try to get more information for you, but Grace, you can't run this time. You cannot run away from this time, okay? So let's go down to the church. And the senator that they were talking about at the dinner table, he did mention something about a senator coming to see him. Bishop Daddy, he comes to see old Bishop Daddy, and he tells him that there's an investigation being launched on most of the mega churches to examine the books to make sure the churches aren't misusing their tax exempt status and buying shit for them, you know, using the tax exempt status. And it's bilking the taxpayers out of millions of dollars. So it doesn't happen. So it does happen. Okay? It does happen in these churches. But Bishop Daddy tried to play that race card on the senator. He said, how would it look for a black senator to open the books on black churches? But the senator wasn't with that. He told him, he said, look at that list. It's white churches on here as well. All we need is to find out where the dollars is going. How y'all spending the money around here. And that's what we need to find out about, okay? He told his secretary, Becky, aka Alexa, to see the senator out, and she does. And then we see her walking down this hallway, and she run into none other than Pastor Jacob. Okay? And he wants to okay, she run into the pastor, the Bishop Daddy's son, Jacob, Clarissa's husband, in the hallway. We find out they messing around. That's one of the Beckets on the side. That's one of the side pieces, because he take her into this room and they getting it on. All the while they doing all of this, do you know that Clarissa is on the stage in the sanctuary praising God? They about to have service up and around through that thing. And while they in there having service, he banging Alexa back out. Then he comes back into the sanctuary and sit down like he ain't doing nothing. Now Bishop Daddy does his sermon. Basically he's saying God wants his kids to come home. He gets to talking about this in a way that touches Gigi, and she begins to feel some kind of way. So when they say the doors of the church are open, she goes down there. And her daddy doing what any daddy's supposed to. He glad to see his baby down there. He come to her and he get to praying with her. But Uncle Creepy gonna come over there and tell him. Now you don't pull. I ain't never seen no child. This kind of stuff go on in these churches sometimes. You gotta pay attention. I be watching. I think that's why a lot of them don't be wanting. I done got kicked out of few, but this probably why they don't be wanting me around, cause I say stuff. Now when the spirit is in the building, the typical responses don't say nothing. Whatever you got to talk about, you ain't finna talk about it with the pastor or nobody else until the spirit has left the building or the spirit has calmed down enough to let you. In this moment, he calling for sinners to come home. His daughter then came down there. He elated. He doing what a father's supposed to do. He praying with his child. But here come Uncle Creepy talking about he need to come over here and talk to these other people. Child, he go over here and talk to these other people. Come to find out these are some new members of the church that they so happen to have just hit the lottery. They hit the Powerball. And instead of them going out and have a good time and enjoying their money and everything, they have decided to become members of Calvary Baptist Church. And in joining the church, they are writing out a check for $50,000. That was more important than him fellowshipping with his daughter when she's saying she wants to come back to the ministry. I wasn't the only one noticed that. Gigi did too, and I think that's when she made the decision that she wouldn't, even if 2020 did call her, she was not finna take the job. She was actually gonna come back home because see, she got to get to the bottom of this. She got to take Uncle Creepy down because something ain't right about him. But we noticed that he looking at her and she looking at him, and he ain't got no look of love on his face when he looking at her. He looking at her like, bitch, when you leaving? And she looking at him like, oh, you still at it? Okay, I got you this time. I'm older now. But that's where we end off at. I got the other 2 episodes recorded and sitting on my DVR. I'm going to watch them. this is how I'm going to do this, because I'll have 2 uploads today, provided my internet acts right. I've been having problems with the Wi-Fi connection, and I love y'all. I love y'all. Child, like a fat kid love cake. But I'm not finna go nowhere in the heat trying to sit at no McDonald's like I have in the past, or nowhere else, and use that Wi-Fi to get this up to you guys. I'm just not gonna even do that to myself, because it's too hot and I shouldn't be out there anyway, because I am a lupus person. I'm a lupus survivor, and one of the main things that aggravates my lupus is heat. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to try to get these reviews up today. I will do Have and Have Nots today, and season 1 episode 1 of Greenleaf today, and try to get it up. Tomorrow, which will be Friday, I will try to do season 1 episode 2 and 3 separate reviews, and I'll also come in with a Q&A video. That Q&A video may hit between Friday and Saturday, okay? That's how we gonna do that, so y'all still be seeing me and won't be like, because you know, if I don't do it like this, it'd be like come Wednesday y'all can see me again to the next week. But I'm trying to spread it out so that I'm around a little bit more. So today it's Have and Have Nots, and the first episode of Greenleaf. Tomorrow, season 1 episode 2 and 3 separate reviews will come out, also with a Q&A. If you got a question that is not related to Vegas Gate, because I'm not answering no questions about that you would like for me to answer, you can put it at the bottom of this video, and I will answer that question for you when I do my Q&A video tomorrow. I already have some situations a couple people done sent me. They want my opinion on it. Before I do that, I'm going to give you the disclaimer on the video, but I'm letting you all know. If you ask me something, remember, I am not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. All of my information and anything I say is based off of common sense and experience that I may have in whatever you asking me. What I say ain't written in stone. This is just my opinion. If you want it, let me know. Also, at the end of if you want to right now, if I done went too far, because I know sometimes Christians get mad. If you feel like I'm going too far or I've gone too far, y'all can get down there in the more comments and tell me about myself, and maybe I might leave it alone. Then again, I might not. But if you think I'm too damn out of order, let me know, and I'll just leave Greenleaf alone, because at the end of the day, this is a part of the income that I do count. I'm not one finna sit up here and say, now it used to be just a hobby, not a way of life. Shit, this is part of my way of life right now too. So I'm not trying to do nothing to cause me no discomfort on my job, okay? So if y'all feel like I'm too goddamn out of order, let me know. I'll leave the shit alone. But if you like what I was giving on this episode 1, child, let me know down there, and we will continue on, and part 2 and 3 will come up tomorrow, along with that Q&A video that may come tomorrow or Saturday. By Sunday, I will have done all them videos, okay? So just know episode 2 and 3 tomorrow, with a Q&A that may come up tomorrow or Saturday, but it will be up this weekend. If you got questions that you may want me to answer that's not related to Vegas Gate and ain't too deep into my personal business, then I will answer them for you on the video. And also, if you feel like I'm too damn much for this show, that maybe my mouth is a little bit too spicy, Cajun smart, then let me know, and we'll take it from there as to whether or not I continue next week with episode 4. But episodes 1 through 3 are going to come regardless. But if you don't like it and you think I'm out of damn order, let me know down in the more comments, and after I do episode 3, I won't mess with it no more, because I'm not trying to offend nobody. But understand that when you ask me for something, I give you exactly what it is that you asked me for, and that's it. In the meantime, in between time, please like, comment, subscribe. Be nice to each other, y'all. It don't hurt. It take a lot more energy to be mean and ugly than it does to be kind, okay? Just treat each other with some respect, and stop trying to get in my comments and upset me, because I'm a person that don't get upset by people I don't know. To even get me mildly irritated, I have to know you, and I don't know none of y'all. So when y'all in my comments coming for me, I'm clapping back, because I'm going to do that. I ain't going to make no video and clap back, but I will cuss you out in them comments so quick. So don't try me. And stop trying to make me pay for a situation that if you ain't paying attention, some of us are already over. Get out of that. Leave that alone. Sniff and sip like we told you, and stop trying to add your pieces to it, because at the end of the day, what happens is those people wind up working their issues out, and it's you sitting back with egg on your face because you did all that talking. Just watch it. Now, I know we brought it to the forefront, namely me, but just watch it and stop trying to come for me with that, because that's not offending me. That all that stuff y'all said, some of y'all said to me on that last video I did, y'all didn't upset me with that. I sat back and had me a laugh from a heart, from a healthy place, and you'll be surprised who else was laughing. But I'm gonna leave that alone. In the meantime, in between time, please like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day, guys. I am about to go lay down. After I bathe my ass, I am going to get in my bed and get me some damn rest. This heat has got me feeling some kind of damn way. Peace.